Frank suffered a stroke in July 2022 and continues to recover today. Frank, 60, owns Fritz Finds in Savannah, Illinois. The shop sells antiques from vintage signs to knickknacks. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal Frank's store is selling high-priced items despite struggling in sales last year. Orange tape with the words "sold" was found on specific antiques around the store. In an exclusive photo obtained by the U.S. Sun, a white cabinet with shelves and glass doors was one of the items with a sold sticker. The U.S. Sun previously reported on the annual sales of the location. Per Experian's business valuation report for Fritz Finds, estimated annual sales are reportedly $25,000. The company's business credit score of 27 is medium risk. As for the financial stability risk ratings, the shop received a medium-high risk of 4 out of 5 rating. The report claims this means there is a 10% potential risk of severe financial distress within the next 12 months. Frank's store is currently selling an antique slot machine for $750. A vintage Will's 3 Castles cigarettes sign is priced at $400, while a SureGain feed services one will set customers back $350. A test panel is priced at $400, as Frank is charging $150 for a vintage sprinkler. Frank sells a vintage seashell teapot, which is going for $138. A vintage insulator could set customers back $200. Other items in the store include merchandise, tea sets, records, knickknacks, and more. Frank hasn't been as involved in the business after he suffered a stroke in July 2022. Frank's close friends filed an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the star on August 18, claiming his decision-making capacity is so impaired from the stroke. The conservatorship papers exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun revealed plans to revamp the store. The initial plan filed by conservator Midwestone Bank read, "Mr. Fritz is a well-known collector and has numerous outbuildings full of valuable collections. The conservator has not yet inventoried those items, but plans to leave them largely as they are now, with the exception of stocking Mr. Fritz's antique store in Savannah, IL as needed. Conservator is hopeful Frank will be able to participate in selection and pricing of items as he did previously." Frank last appeared on American Pickers during a March 2020 episode, as he took time off to recover from back surgery that left him with 185 stitches and 2 rods in his spine. He also told the U.S. Sun that he entered rehab for alcohol addiction in Iowa for 77 days. Frank revealed his feud with co-star Mike during the 2021 interview with the U.S. Sun. Frank said, "I haven't talked to Mike in 2 years. He knew my back was messed up, but he didn't call me up and ask how I was doing. That's just how it is." The show was tilted towards him 1,000%. "I can't even bend that far down to show you how much. That's fine. It's like you've got Aerosmith, and there's Steven Tyler, and he's the frontman. I found my spot, I'm second, and he's number 1 on the show. That's no problem with me. Maybe he does have a problem." But a friend told the Quad City Times that Frank and Mike had a tearful reunion over Memorial Day weekend. A source claimed to the U.S. Sun, "Everything between them is fine. They've known each other for 40 years. They went to high school. They've done all this stuff together." The insider said Mike has visited Frank a handful of times since he suffered the stroke, as the two call and text today as well. The U.S. Sun previously reported Frank remains in an assisted living facility to help with physical therapy, as he continues to have a long road to recovery ahead. Frank lost verbal and mobile, so that's where he has been. He is still in an assisted living facility, a source close to Mike claimed. The insider continued to claim that while Frank got his verbal back, working on mobility has been a struggle for the star. It's been very difficult for him to find motivation. He found the motivation to talk, but the physical therapy he's not there yet. the source claimed. But a second source close to Frank's loved ones claimed he is taking the recovery at his own pace. He's been working really hard to not overdo himself and stress himself out and honor his health, the second insider said. He's not overdoing it and trying to prove anything to himself. He's honoring what needs to be right now. He's just at the nursing home for physical therapy. I hope he bounces back. I have faith he will. The show currently stars Mike, his brother Robbie, Danielle Colby, and John Jersey John Chalet.